Okay, we're just doing a video today, so you can't join us live, but we are discussing tarot on Tarot Delights. I'm Rhonda of Goddess Garage, and you are?
Kayla of Wayward Spirit.
There we go. Things are going smoothly. This is
Yeah.
good. We always seem to have some technical difficulties.
Well, and it's funny because we haven't done it in a couple of weeks, I don't think.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we get in the groove, and then like life happens.
Yeah.
And then we get interrupted, and then it takes us a couple of times to get back in the groove.
And then the whole vicious cycle starts again.
100%.
So we're talking tarot, and we were talking about, you said you've got a new deck.
I do have a new deck, new to me, not new in general.
Yes.
It's I should probably look at the publication date. It's the Animal Totem Tarot. Is that what it's called?
Yep, Animal Totem. You got it right. Yep. So we were talking about, like, there's a lot of people in tarot itself, and that's true. There's people, I think, because when you're looking at tarot, you want to see what your life is like.
Yeah, and so there's figures that could represent things that
and
could
resonate,
happen, archetypes that. But I find it so interesting that you were saying that we personify animals.
Yeah.
And so when you get an all animal deck, some people have like, oh, I don't know how to, but then other people are like, no, this is my jam, like this makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just found it really interesting that there's like really two camps, the people that are like hardcore clone of Rider-Waite-Smith mostly, and then do enjoy all of the people in the deck, and then there are other people who are like, nope, I like my animals, I like what they represent. So I thought it was really interesting that there's that juxtaposition.
Yeah. And we do often resonate with animals, right? Like, you know, you can think, oh, I'm clever like a fox, or I'm wise like an owl, or, you know, I'm as fast as a cobra. A cobra strike. I just finished the book, Memoirs of Cleopatra. So that is, it comes up a lot, like, because the Egyptians would sometimes put cobras in each other's bed to kill them. It's like, they married their brothers, and they, it's really weird. There's a lot of intermarriage that happened.
Yes.
And there was a lot of killing off their own father or mother or whatever, so that they could take the position.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
it's almost like once they're like the offspring have reached age, they're like, you're too young, mom and dad, let's get rid of you.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a very interesting read, and it was written by a woman well versed in that particular history, because I looked up a lot of things, because as you know, I'm a big history buff, but Egyptology is not something I know a lot about. I know some, but
that's a whole like realm of study in and of itself.
Yes, people dedicate their lives to just studying the history of Egypt, right?
Which is insane.
Yeah, because there was so much that came out of there, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, like, and Cleopatra wrote a lot of the scrolls herself. She was quite an amazing woman, really, for her time. And she didn't kill off any of her relatives.
Bonus points for Cleopatra.
But she slept with both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony.
Oh.
Yeah. It was after Julius Caesar died. She had a son with Julius Caesar, and she had a son and I believe 2 girls maybe with Mark Antony.
Wonder how the bloodline goes on that one, because I'm not saying I know what this means, but doesn't the eldest son usually inherit?
Yes, and that was what they were arguing about, because see, the son that Cleopatra had with Caesar was his only son. But there was an emperor already in place after Caesar left, right?
Yeah.
And Octavian was the ruler, emperor, whatever you want to call him. So he didn't recognize Caesar's son.
No,
because
he wouldn't. He was
illegitimate.
Yeah.
Even though he had more claim to the throne than Octavian, because Octavian was like a 3rd, 4th cousin of Caesar, right? So it's like, yeah, they were reaching way back, kind of thing.
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah. But really, Caesar's son should have been on the emperor's throne. And you know, the story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, I think Shakespeare took some inspiration from there, because they kind of had a pact. They were defending Alexandria, which is where Cleopatra lived, and that's the big kingdom was there. And Mark Anthony ended up going to battle to defend Alexandria because they had been wiped out here, there, and everywhere. And the pact was if he yelled, it was some weird god name, like it was like obsidian or whatever. I know that's a crystal, but if he yelled that, not a common god, like don't yell out Horus or something, right? So if he yelled that out, it meant that he had victory. If she didn't hear it, it meant he didn't. And she said the same thing, I'll yell out. And he didn't hear her yell. So he fell on his own sword. And she was still alive. And so they brought him to the tomb because he had a tomb already for himself. And he died in her arms.
So very much Romeo and Juliet.
Yes. Yep. So then she had a basket of cobras in the tomb. So that's how she was going to open them up if he had died out in the battlefield. But he died in her arms, and then she let a cobra bite her. And so the cobra bit her, as well as the lady who is kind of her, lady in waiting kind of thing. And then she had an advisor. So the same cobra bit Cleopatra and her maid, and it went to bite her advisor, counselor, and it didn't kill him because it had already bitten twice.
Too many people, and so then it needed to replenish the venom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he got sick, but he lived. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, because I guess, and I mean, we still kind of do this when you see a changeover in management or whatever. The people that were close with the one manager that left, kind of like, they stay for a while, but they somehow get replaced or like find other opportunities. Like, not saying people die anymore because that's not what happens, but you see that like the incoming manager or person or whatever wants their team of people around them, right? So like that's just kind of the vibe I get there.
Yeah. So I mean, just because it was a suicide pact reminded me very much of Romeo and Juliet, and the misunderstanding that happened. Spoiler alert: they both die in Romeo and Juliet too.
I love that. That spoiler alert is probably what 200, 300 years old, if not more.
If not more, yeah.
I love it.
But when I was reading the way they died, I'm like, geez, that sounds a lot like Romeo and Juliet. Because, I mean, again, he was Roman and she's Egyptian, so even...
That crossing of families and cultural barriers. Yeah,
and, like, Rome would never recognize the marriage that she had with Caesar or Mark Anthony, and, in fact, she was married to them both.
Yeah.
But Rome didn't recognize it because back in the old world, it seemed like they liked to keep things really close. And it's like, oh my God, like we think the royal family in Britain is like, you guys have crossed too many very close bloodlines to each other.
And that's nothing.
Yeah, and that's nothing compared to the old world, some of especially the royalty part.
Well, I wonder, is it like almost like the devil you know versus the devil you don't? Like you're not sure of what's coming in, so it's like that fear of the unknown where it's like, I know my third cousin, Jim Bob, whatever. So I would rather deal with him than deal with a stranger. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of keep it in the family, I guess. You know, like, because a lot of times they felt the blood was better with, like, because you're divinely sort of given.
Connected,
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now, in Mohawk society and in Haudenosaunee in general, I know if you introduce yourself to a grandmother, she'll immediately ask you what clan you are. And you can't get married until you get a grandmother's blessing, from my understanding. But she needs to know which clans you're from, because the Mohawks and the Haudenosaunee were smart. You don't marry a bear with a bear, that's too close. It's like you need a wolf and a bear, or a wolf and a turtle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
interesting.
Yeah. So, and they follow the matrilineal line, which is actually much smarter, because sometimes you don't know who your father is. Yeah, always know who your mother is for sure.
Definitely. There is no hiding that one.
Yeah, exactly. But we were talking about the different systems and how, like, I've got my big deck out here, how most decks for tarot are based off of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And it became sort of the modern measurement.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, because like you were saying, we have a lot of clones of this, and so it's kind of interesting how it's developed. I mean, tarot decks, you know, you were talking about this is all animals and we personify animals, but they have like Golden Girls tarot, they have baseball tarot,
dog tarot, cat tarot.
Yeah, oh, there's lots of cat tarots. Yeah. And I mean, I have some of these decks, and some of them are really silly, right?
Very much so.
And it's like, I can't take that deck seriously, even though it's based off of actual tarot. It's like, I don't know. And then we were talking about the Thoth system, which is another system, and I have not had time to even look at it. I've looked at a couple of decks, and they confused me because I was thinking I was looking at tarot until
you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and we were talking about the tarot conference that Marilyn Shannon puts on every couple of years.
Wonderful.
This one coming up is her last one, but I think she has someone in place that's going to take over.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to find out. Maybe she'll announce it at it's in November.
Because I got my invitation to do the recording thing. Did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
So bug her.
I will, because I need my right hand woman. Because you were very much good at. Are you recording it? Yes, those were 10 minutes into. I am now.
Good old anxiety.
Yeah. Because I was getting so into the talk that I forgot about, I'm doing a job here too. But we were talking about the conference and how they brought in Lenormand. And Lenormand is a beautiful, beautiful deck. Any Lenormand's deck I picked up has always had exquisite,
it's gorgeous,
drawing and art and all that kind of stuff. But, and they did some spreads with it and how to use it. And one lady went through each card to tell us what the meaning was. I mean, it was fascinating, but also dry and boring all at the same time.
Well, I mean, if it's not your cup of tea, right? It's kind of hard to, get into it, for sure.
Well, it's sort of like if someone new to tarot was here and I just went through each card.
Be like, this is... What am I looking at? This is temperance. This is what temperance does.
Yeah.
It would be very dry.
Oh, yeah. 78 cards? Yeah, that's a lot of cards. I don't know. I can't remember how many Lenormand, or if there's a restriction.
I feel like there is, because there's that Grand Tableau.
Right.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, and it used every card.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Because, with Oracle cards, it varies.
Yes, it does.
Right? And there's no real rules to Oracle cards.
Oh.
And I like to use them too. I like to mix them in with the tarot.
I think that's a really good perspective to have, though, because then you get a unique perspective based on whatever decks you choose to mix in with the tarot.
Yeah.
Oracle decks, I feel like, are like the fluffier version where the tarot kind of tells it straight.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
And if you mix mermaids with the tarot, man, you are gonna get some tough love.
Oh, mermaids are straight shooters, I think.
Yeah.
They're very much like, oh, you want the truth? Outcome. And I don't mean...
What is all this?
This is not cool. All right, call you out. Much like working with the Morgan. Not that I know a lot, but I've heard a lot of stories.
Oh, okay.
I was reading a post. There's a woman that works with the Morgan. I don't remember what her name is. Do I follow her, or did she just come up on my feed? But she's like, I've been with the Morgan for years, and I just lost my job of 13 years because the Morgan's like, this is what you need to be doing, not your muggle job. And I was like, oh!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, like when the universe wants to turn you, it will slap you if you're not listening.
Oh, will it ever?
I've had a couple of slaps.
It's like I've had a few.
Yep.
I'm more apt to listen now.
Yes. Yeah. As you get older, hopefully you get wiser.
You're like, oh, that was a sign before. Let's listen this time.
Yes. Because, I mean, even I was watching a show that had, it was a detective type show, and it has a science element to it, right? And the guy that was the scientist was saying, really, the scientific thing is you try something, you fail, then you stand up again, you try something and fail. And when you don't fail, then you've reached the conclusion of what you're seeking, and there's probably another step. But the failure is actually the most important part.
Because you learn from it.
Because you learn from it, and you also know what not to do now, right? And we often have to learn that. um, it's okay to fall down in life. Like, I think social media has really put a push on show the best side of yourself, and that's all well and good. Celebrate the good times, celebrate the hamburger that you're having, and it's not a bad thing. Like, people are like, oh, people put food up on the social media. I say that's great. Just add a little gratitude to it, because then you're blessing the food, and it
comes back to you.
Yeah, and then you ingest it, and they have proven, like, it's not a religious thing to bless your food.
No.
It cuts across cultures. It's about having gratitude for this food, because it used to be such a struggle. Like, it was a daily activity. People didn't do anything but look for food. Like, they didn't have, like, jobs where offices were.
And how different we've become now.
Yes, right? And so you often would put a little blessing on it. And like I said, they've proven that when you do that, because a lot of it is plant-based, we have some vegetables, and they've done the same thing with plants, that it actually becomes a little more nutritious for you. So it brings out and enhances the nutrient value of it, right?
Yes,
so
definitely.
It's kind of like, I've forgotten, like, when I left my parents, who were very Roman Catholic, by the way, I stopped doing the grace before dinner.
Okay.
As part of my rebellion of, I don't need to bless my food. And now I'm swinging back to it, because I'm like, yes, in order to love my body, I should bless my food and then adjust it and be grateful for what I have. Because, like, grocery prices are going ridiculously high.
Cost of living is ridiculous.
So my cupboards had been a little bare, because I'm like, first of all, I'm not paying $2 for a can of beans. What the hell is going on?
You're when you move out and you don't realize how much your parents do.
Yes.
And then when you buy everything on your own, you're like, holy crap. I ended up not becoming vegetarian by choice.
Right.
So when I first moved out, I was like, meat's too expensive. Let's do alternatives. And I didn't literally, unless it was a treat, like to go home for a meal, or like other people were cooking, I didn't eat meat for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't like intentional thing. It was just like, I can't afford meat.
It was a budget thing.
Yeah, it was totally a budget thing.
It's funny that you say that, because at Easter, my family, my brothers and sisters all got together, and it was a smaller get together, so we were just sitting at the kitchen table at my sister's place and just, talking while we're eating cookies and eggs and stuff. And we were talking about the grocery prices and how high they are. And like I said, and when's the last time, outside of ground beef, was the last time you bought beef? And they're like, like, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And then we realized that we buy a lot of pork, because that's the cheaper meat now these days. So we do pork chops, we do pork roast, we do pork this, we do pork that.
Yep.
And it's like, man, we're eating a lot of pork. Because even chicken has gone up.
Chicken has gone up.
And pork is cheaper than chicken now.
I live with somebody who doesn't like pork. Like, there's something in it that he's just like, nope.
Oh.
So we always do a lot of chicken.
Oh, okay.
Chicken and ground beef.
Oh, pork is so delicious.
Pork, yes, on occasion, but like not regularly.
And is he worried about the thing that can poison you?
Kind of, but I think
that's all been bred out.
It's also the consistency of pork. It might be a texture thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pork doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I love pork because it's so juicy, right? And I accidentally one time bought pork belly, not realizing that's what it was. It's like really, really, really good and juicy bacon, basically.
Like primo bacon.
Yeah. It's like, and I got it out and I'm like, oh, okay. And I threw it in the oven and I was like, oh, what's it good? And I bit into it, once it's on my plate, not right out of the oven, obviously. And I was like, oh my God, I have just found heaven.
You're like, now I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. There was like, I don't remember what it was, but recently I was like, I am now spoiled for everything else of this.
Yeah. Yep.
You get those moments where you're like, this is the only thing I'm going to eat from whatever this, I don't know if it was a drink or the way it was made. I'm like, yep.
Right.
Spoiled.
Right. I actually have a tarot deck. It's funny, speaking of food, that is all food. And it's like the food that you're going to eat for dinner tonight or whatever, right?
That's cool.
Or incorporate this thing, broccoli or milk or, a steak or whatever. A client gave me the deck and she thought it was hilarious.
I would honestly use that. I'd be like, okay, I'd go through my pantry, pick out the cards that are in my pantry, and then just shuffle and be like, what am I having for dinner tonight?
Right. Well, my cupboards are full again, so I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
However, I always seem to be okay food-wise. Like I had a lot of scarcity in my childhood coming up, where food, being the oldest, food was limited for me because a lot of certain foods went to the babies. Yeah. And understandable, but it does, make
create that sense of scarcity.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think that's part of the reason why when I went out on my own, I also gained a lot of weight. Like,
you're like, this is mine now.
Yeah. Well, and I was married at that point. Like when I was first out on my own, I was skinny. But when I got married, I suddenly had grocery money and a lot of it. And I just went to town, right? All the things you could have, like the Cracker Jacks and the Fruit Loops and, all those things, right? But then now I can manifest food when I need to, no problem. I'm like, can I please translate that to money?
Hey, we're good on the food front.
Yeah.
Money, please.
Yeah, I'm totally thankful. Thank you for the full cupboards. Bring the money.
Well, and I know that money's tricky. Like it's not tricky in a bad way, but it's like there's a finesse to it.
There is, and there's a lot of emotion around money.
Yeah.
And like even the tarot cards have a whole suit dedicated to it. And your playing cards that you play with have diamonds because that's a currency, right? And getting over that scarcity mentality, and there's a lot of emotion wrapped around money, and there's a lot of evil root that money can have.
Taught a lot of that, right? Like I feel like a lot of
money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, a lot of programming needs to get unlearned around money.
Absolutely,
because like even somebody such as myself who didn't necessarily grow up in the church, I chose to go to church for a while. It was great while I was there. Figured out it wasn't the be all and end all.
Right.
But it definitely has a behavioral programming, and and around money it's very tricky because there's definitely the money is the root of all evil, but it's not.
It's not. Yeah. And I know you've heard me say this before. A lot of marriages break up because of money. Yep. And infidelity is more easily forgiven than a fuck up with money.
Which to me baffles my brain.
Yeah.
Because I have experienced neither of that.
Right.
So I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But then I get it. I've heard stories. I've seen friends. Like, I'm just like, yep, that's a thing. So, like,
yeah,
we tread very lightly.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, you haven't been married very long,
No, I have not.
And you're still like in that young phase, right? But once one of you gets a lot of money, there's going to be decisions that are made without you or without him, kind of thing sometimes, and that can fuck things up.
Yeah.
Because like Mark, for instance, when we were first married, we didn't have Christmas stuff. So he bought a tree, he bought all these decorations, and he did it on his own. I love Christmas. I was so upset because he took away the decision making of me picking out my own Christmas decorations, right? And he didn't understand why I was upset because he was young and dumb, as all men are.
He's grown in his years.
He's grown in his years, and he would never do that again.
Yeah.
But then he went out and bought a minivan a few years later, once we had the kids and stuff, without me.
Yeah, but you're going to be the one driving.
Yeah. So,
mind you,
I liked it. It was nice, lovely. At first, I was like, I don't want to be a soccer mom.
I think we all have that. Because, like, I remember when one of my car needed to get something done to it. It was, like, an accident that wasn't my fault. And they were like, oh, here's a loaner. And they gave me this, like, giant almost. I was like, I am a single person. I know I am the age of soccer moms. And you assume I have 3 kids.
Right.
But no. Give me something that is not a van.
Right,
because I don't need the room.
Yes.
I don't have children. Please leave it for the mom.
And in fact, the minivan that we had, the back went up and stuff. Yeah. It had less space than a trunk. I could have put more stuff in a trunk.
Well, because it needs more seats for people rather than trunk space.
So I was constantly putting things on the back seat or the front seat.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't fold the seat down because I had 2 kids.
Yeah.
Right? In car seats, I think at that point too. And they, nowadays they have them in boosters and car seats forever. And still the girls aren't the right weight to be able to sit in the front.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. At least I don't think they are. I mean...
No, I think it's not age-based anymore. It's weight-based.
It's weight-based.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is weight-based.
When we were growing up, it was definitely age-based.
Yeah, exactly. And, most parents just threw you in the back of the station wagon while you bounced around.
Right? You're like, seatbelts.
Yeah, you weren't chained in or tethered in any way.
Good old days.
Yeah, right? I remember driving in a pickup truck in the back, too.
Oh, I've done that on the back roads. Like, we've done, that wasn't until one of my first boyfriends, because he was very country.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do you mean just jump in the back?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, there's no room up front, so either if you're coming, you're jumping in the back.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember one time we drove to Canadian Tire with all of us in the back.
Yeah.
Just bouncing around.
Oh my God, you would never get away with that nowadays.
Oh my God, yeah, you'd be stopped and probably arrested.
Yep. You'd be like, that is child neglect.
Like we didn't even think, and that's how I lost my first tooth, was sitting in the front seat and Dad slammed the brakes,
and then you just
and one of my teeth, luckily it was a baby tooth, was still in the dashboard when I stood up.
Oh my God.
It's like, that's the reason why young children should not drive in the front.
No.
And I mean, I don't know, Lucy might be of the right weight, but often her parents are driving. So they take up the 2 seats, or Catherine's coming to get me, so I don't sit in the back. So I don't know, maybe Lucy is, but there's never an opportunity for her.
No, and then I know there's definitely been family I babysit for. I see them go to church. Okay. There was definitely some fighting over who gets what seat. Yeah. And I was like, it's a seat, guys. You're going down the road to church.
I remember our big van when we were kids. So there was 2 captain chairs up front.
Yep.
Second, 2 captain chairs middle, and then there was the back bench. Yep. Right.
That was what we grew up with too.
Yeah.
Except the 2 captain chairs were usually like my mom and my dad, or my dad and my grandfather. Yeah. Because we went to Florida in this van.
So that must have been a long drive.
15 hours. So my brothers were in car seats.
Oh, okay.
So it's literally my dad driving, my grandfather co-piloting, a TV that plugs into the cigarette lighter for my brothers to keep them occupied. Right. Then there's my twin brothers in car seats in the next 2 captain's chairs. Yeah. And then there's like my mom, my grandmother, and I in the back.
Oh,
and my mom literally that one back corner. She's like, it's the corner of hell. You cannot get comfortable.
Oh my God. Yeah. Holy jumpins. Because I remember us as kids fighting over who got to sit in the captain's chairs.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, there was no fighting. This is where their seats are. This is the most accessible spot. You get no choice. Yeah.
It's too bad the twins couldn't have sat in the back bench, but whatever.
They weren't old enough.
A waste of captain's chairs, to be quite honest.
Yep.
I love that they have a TV that plugged into the lighter.
But it wasn't like one of the little, so like, I'm talking, how old are they now? They're in their 20s? Yeah, so this is going like more than 20 years back.
Wow.
So it was like the VHS player.
Yeah, right.
So it was like the big...
Yeah. All in the back of the car. Oh my God, that's too funny. Yeah, I remember us trying to go camping. So we borrowed a friend's van that they had modified for a camper.
Yep.
And we were going to go to Niagara Falls. We were all excited.
Ooh.
And we stopped in Belleville, because one of my uncles lived there at that point. So we stopped in Belleville, visited him for a night, I think. And then every one of us got deathly sick. Deathly sick. There was vomit. There was the whole 9. Both.
You don't want to take multiple children when they're sick anywhere.
Yeah, and there was, I believe, 5 of us at that point. So, like 5 children and 2 adults, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we were just so sick. So I turned around and went home. It's like, we made it all the way to Belleville.
Not the time.
Yeah. And we're coming from, like, Lanark, so it not Kingston. So it was a bit of a hike, but... Yep. You know, I missed Niagara Falls. So then I got my aunt and uncle to take me to Niagara Falls, and my uncle was scared of heights, and they have that big, like one of the world's biggest Ferris wheels.
Yeah.
And I am fearless when it comes
You're
to
like,
that.
let's go.
Yeah, and then he was like, okay, just everyone stay still. And I was like, I'm rocking the chair. And
he's like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. I realized what a dick I was doing that.
Well, it was like, so my mom's not a fan of heights. So it's like the CN Tower. So we've done trips to Toronto and things like that. And like, you know, the CN Tower when it's got like a piece of glass, you can like look down.
Yeah.
And I'm standing on, I'm like, this is so cool. My mom's over in the corner like, nope, I'm good.
Yes.
Don't tell me, don't talk to me.
Yeah, as an adult, I went up as a kid too, but they didn't have the glass floor at that point. Okay. It was an addition that they did.
Yeah.
But then I went as an adult and they had the glass floor at that point, and I was like, whoa, no. It's like, I understand why adults get fear of heights now. Because it's like, I will die if I just crash through that. I'm sure they made
meanwhile,
it so it's
strong. Like, it can handle like 100 elephants. That's how thick that glass is. So like, meanwhile, your brain's like, no, you're fine. No, you're not.
Yeah.
And so you're fighting that internal fight dialogue there of like, oh my god, I have fight or flight. No, I'm good. Maybe not.
Yeah. I got to the edge of it, and that's as far as I went.
Understandable.
Yeah, because as an adult, you realize you're mortal. As a kid, you don't worry about that
well,
stuff.
Well, no, because you think everything's going to be okay. Right?
Yeah.
So unless you've had an accident or some life-threatening thing happen, your sense of fear is not there.
Right. Yeah, because it's funny how that, as you age, that fear gets bigger.
It's true, because there's some things I see the kids do, even on the playground. I'm like, what? You're going to break an ankle.
Yeah, right?
Or hit your head and, like, derail your life.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing you're green up to a certain age. You still bounce kind of thing, but...
Oh my god! So I used to work with, like, geriatric adults.
Yes.
And so when I started working with, like, littles, I was like, oh, don't worry, they'll bounce. And I'm like, are you sure? Because how some of them fall and, like, roll and tumble and, like, still run is beyond me.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm okay.
Yep. I'm like, are you okay?
And sometimes it's good to ignore it, because if you do go, oh my god, sometimes they'll play it up and milk it a little, right? But yeah, it's funny how as we get older, you know, older people often start going to church because they're hedging their bets, you know.
Okay, just in case.
Yes, I believe it. Oh, yeah, because my brothers and sisters were just talking about something about going to church, can't remember. And one of my sisters like, yeah, I really got to get my ass back there. Like, she hasn't gone in years.
I mean, church is just I love people. Church is more than just a building, is what I was trying to say, because like the community is great. The some of the lessons fantastic, not all of them. But church is where people are, not where the building is. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, I need to go to church, and like I need to go to this specific place. And it's like, no, you need to just find your tribe or find your people and do what you believe.
And you can, I love going into churches.
Yes.
Because there's a resonating energy that really speaks to me. And it's very like centered calms and that sort of thing. So I love going to church. I don't necessarily love going to mass, right?
Yep.
And I will tolerate mass. It's not like, oh, mass is awful. No, it's great. There's a lot of misogyny still. Just a little bit. And I'm glad that the church is growing a little bit. I mean, they still don't allow female priests. And I don't necessarily agree with celibacy for priests, because if they're counseling, children and adults and families, they, like, yes, it from the perspective of being someone's brother, perhaps, the perspective of,
why
being
not
a child.
Be someone's, like, it makes more sense to be of the perspective of someone's father or wife or husband.
Yeah, if you've never had a spouse, if you've never had a child, how are you counseling these things, right?
I agree.
I mean, not that people who don't have children can't counsel on their own and stuff. This zero is bugging me because this thing has come up. Sorry.
Squirrel.
Yeah. I'm really OCD about some stuff.
No, but you're right. And it's like, so I,
13 books, people.
ooh, congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. I digress. Go on.
Well, no, and it's true, because it doesn't matter whether it's like a religious organization or, because I know a lot of people, because like I am of the childbearing age, but I don't know if I'll ever have kids.
Right.
So I know there will become a time where someone's going to be like, you don't have kids, you don't understand.
Right.
And I get that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But I look after children 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I treat them as if they're my own.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
So I do know what it's like to have children not listen to you and not even remotely understand what you're saying and not want to listen and da-da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in that area, I could be helpful, but not in other areas. Not in me, like, I've stayed up for 6 hours and not gotten any sleep because my kids kept me up.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Right,
I mean, my four-legged kid kept me up a couple of nights ago, but that's very different.
Yeah, this one's had... Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. The ghost.
He's had some walking diarrhea.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, so I think it's his... I've changed his diet up a little bit because he's older, so I want to give him some wet food.
Yeah.
Because it helps older cats do what they need to do. And because their treats are designed to make them want to drink. Because cats will naturally dehydrate themselves.
So not only do you have to try to keep them inside and alive, but they will naturally dehydrate themselves. So you're like, here, drink water.
And then they get fur in their throat. They're like, ah, ha. It's like, drink some water, damn it.
Well, and it's like, I swear Bosco is a nighthawk when it comes to, like, he'll wake up at night, drink a water, and go back to bed.
Okay.
So, like, during the day.
Yeah.
Because normally he's in a very large cage. Like, we are not inhumane.
Yeah.
He's a corgi, and he has a Malamute-sized cage.
Oh,
it's
nice.
An apartment. But he'll overturn his water dish if we keep it in with him.
Oh.
So I'm constantly afraid that he's not drinking enough.
Right.
Especially with it being so hot.
Right.
So I'm constantly like, here, drink more.
Yeah. You almost have to dole it out to him.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I bought a water bottle, and he'd be like, oh, what's this? Oh, look, there's water.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So yeah, back to tarot. What else are we saying about tarot?
I don't know.
I've been examining the cards very closely.
Ooh.
That's part of the big surprise, the big thing that's happening. So I have something very big that will probably be rolled out at the beginning of the fall.
Okay. Fun.
And we're
all going to be anticipating it.
Yes, I'm very, very excited. So, and you'll get a little prequel to it.
Okay. I was like, please don't keep me in the dark.
But yeah, I'm really excited. So I've become even more intimate with my cards.
Ooh.
Because I've been looking at the Rider-Waite-Smith, the original, and then I've been looking at my working deck just to kind of, different variations and all that kind of stuff. And weirdly, US Games bought the rights to this.
Oh!
So some of those clones,
that's interesting.
you have to watch out for copyright infringement.
Yes, that's very true.
But it's like, this is public domain. It should, but US Games bought it, and now it's not public domain anymore.
Oh, so they really put the...
Yeah.
So, hello, Disney marketing.
Yeah, like, it's like, do you have that kind of time and legal team to go after every clone that's out there? Because this is what all other tarot decks are essentially based on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some deviations.
But I think that, like, and that's going to be interesting. Maybe they did that to keep it out of AI.
Maybe.
Because, like, I know that is a huge thing. That's what we should talk about maybe next week. The division of AI and AI use of tarot and things like that. Because artists and deck creators are, well, I mean, some artists and deck creators have embraced it. And other artists and deck creators are, like, vehemently against it.
Once ChatGPT came out, Fiverr died. Yeah. Right? If you know, Fiverr is a place you can go and get, a graphics artist or a copyright person or someone that can write stuff up for you. All those jobs died, like, instantly. Yeah. As a graphic artist, and I know there's going to be people that argue, well, no, but honestly, we've all seen the pictures of what people can do in, a matter of seconds. And, you get to know it and you command it, and boom, you know, it's like
I'm very careful. So like I've started writing. I started idea about 15 years ago.
okay,
and it's not leaving me alone. So finally this summer, I looked at a friend of mine and I was like, she's the only one that's seen early iterations of that. I was like,
okay.
I'm gonna start. She's like, yeah, but are you actually? It's been 15 years. You haven't done anything with it. And I was like, no, this is the summer.
This is the year.
Yeah. So she and I both agree we're gonna keep it out of AI. Like I think I've put something in, and it wasn't even the original idea. I was just like, I need a timeline for something similar to this.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Why couldn't I not have put that through my own brain? But sometimes like you can't see the forest for the trees.
Absolutely.
So I've that's the only thing I've done with AI. Other than that, it lives on my computer and away from the internet.
Right. Yeah, it's funny because I put something through one time because I was like, oh, you know, tell me what you think of this, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't change a thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it said no. It's perfectly worded. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
So some things, like original things, if you write, that's great. But I think there's going to be an explosion of people who have written books, but not really written
Oh, there's
books.
already some disconnect between people who, actually, I was reading, I don't know how I got onto it. It wasn't even on TikTok. There was like an author that came up with a story that, like, so she was a published author, and then this fan was like, hey, how are you? Like, I love your work. Can I use your characters as like fan fiction?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then, so like, that's okay.
That's very common. I've heard of that a lot.
But then it turned out that they became friends, and then like blurring lines of like fan versus like fan to author thing, and then so the person took it from fan fiction to publishing an original work, but technically used a character.
Oh,
and there was like,
and didn't cut her in any of the credits.
Yeah, I don't think so. And then
royalties.
So there were some other things at play, and I was like, oh no, thanks. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's not AI necessarily. But,
no, but there's paying homage to somebody in a respectful way, and then this was a inspiration to my original writings, but like to blatantly publish something that is really someone else's work.
Yeah,
and branding.
Yeah, exactly. And she should have maybe approached that, because like Clive Cussler is a big action kind of writer.
Yep.
And Mark loves them because they're like always going on adventures, and it's adventures for boys that are men now. And but he has a lot of ghostwriters, right? That publish under his name. They get paid, obviously. So does he, because it's basically fan fiction that's so good. It's like, I'll put my name on it, kind of thing, right?
And I mean, if it gets him royalties and more checks, right?
Yeah. And it also gets a writer kind of thing that's been approved to write, and that's what she should have gone with, is, can I publish the writing? Because she did the writing with the inspiration of the characters, right? Because Clive Cussler's the author, but I can't remember who the main character is. It's kind of like James Bond, you know?
Yes, one of those.
You know, it's the same guy doing the same stuff, and he's got a sidekick or whatever, right?
Make me want to.
Did you ever see Daffy Duck when he was a cowboy?
And Daffy Duck was a cowboy?
Yeah, he walks into this bar, and he's like the sheriff, right? And he pulls his guns, and of course he takes his chops, so he's naked. And he's quickly trying to fix himself. He's like, pardon me while I fix my accoutrements. But his sidekick,
Dirk Pitt is the character.
There you go.
Is the character.
And
sorry, it's gonna bug me.
No, that's okay. And Porky Pig is the sidekick, right?
Who is also pantsless.
Yeah, who's also pantsless. He goes up to the bar, belly up to the bar, and the bartender makes this really hot, like, he puts like some liquid lava or something in it, and Porky Pig drinks it down, and he's all like, yep, I'm cool. And Daffy Duck then goes, barkeep, give me one. And he drinks it too, and they're both like in bonnets afterwards going, Mary had a little because it's like
screws with your brain.
Exactly. So it's like, oh my god. So anyways, I love that scene. I love a lot of Looney Tunes scenes.
Well, I mean, Looney Tunes I think was my first that and the interludes on the Disney Channel.
Introduction to classical music.
Yep. My grandparents had the Primo satellite package.
Nice. Yeah, we probably wouldn't know a lot of classical music had it not been for Bugs Bunny and all his loony friends. Oh dear. They probably have a Looney Tunes tarot.
Oh, they probably do. 100% they do.
I would totally buy that if there's one. I'll have to look that up now. Ah, but what else do we want to talk about? We're at 4:45. Dad's around.
Yeah.
Hi Dad. Thanks for being here. I think he's excited about what I'm doing. So,
well, I'm excited that you're excited.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to when you're ready to release details.
Yes. We're just in the middle of working things out and whatnot. So it's great because Mark's been helping me a lot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because he's very tech savvy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, please help me do this. Because it's like, I do not know how to do this. That's why all our videos are raw.
Well, I mean, it also takes a whole level of patience to edit.
Yeah,
and
that's
I realized
what I've heard.
A long time ago, as somebody who used to transcribe for written word, because I used to do a lot of journalism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I am very much a non-edited person.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, let's throw the video up, raw, how it is. Like, I can cut clips together.
Right.
But I don't want to spend the tedious time of, like, making it perfect.
Right.
I'm very much like, I'd like the experience. I want to get it out to the people. And let's just skip the middle part.
Right. Yeah, because I just had someone comment on one of my junk journal videos, and she's like, it was a very long video because I'm long-winded, naturally speaking. But she said, but I learned so much and you've given me inspiration, so that's good. And thank you to the person who sat through that very long-winded video.
Well, sometimes long videos are great. Like, I know I found a podcast recently that I like that I'm actually using because it's like I've watched a TV show. I'm obsessed with the TV show right now. Not a new show.
Okay.
And then so like during the pandemic, they did a rewatch podcast with two of the people that were in the TV show.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, how did it take me so long to find this? And then so now that's my like unwind at night.
Oh, okay,
so I can kind
nice.
of like not pay attention but pay attention.
Yeah.
And then just do other things.
Right.
Sometimes
I love when you can put something in the background and you're sort of half listening to it.
Yeah,
right?
and so those sometimes those long-winded videos, even though you're like you're paying attention but you're not, but you're also there's still nuggets there that you're like, oh yes, that.
Yeah.
And then you're drawn back in.
Yeah, because I was going over some of my old tarot notes.
Yep.
And it's sometimes there's stuff in there and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's great, And then, you can always add more layers to any tarot card. And even with Mark helping me, he's sort of half learning tarot by accident.
I love it.
Because it's like, well, this means this and that is there and it's there because and la la la.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also reinforcing what I already know. But it's always good to go back to the basics.
100% it is.
Yeah.
Like that was me math all year. Anytime the kids would do new math, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So
I haven't used this since grade 8. And then so there were days where we'd have like supply teachers and I'm like, wait, you can't teach math? But and then she was like, well, you've been here. I was like, doesn't mean I was paying attention. I was dealing with so-and-so over here.
Yeah.
So I take 5 minutes and like reteach myself. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And there are days where I'm like, am I like leading them astray? I don't want to screw them up.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it comes back pretty easily.
Right.
Yeah.
And even last year, I think it was that you were in a French class.
Oh my God, yes.
And you started learning French.
Some of it's still stuck. Like a lot of the stuff you use every day, like, please go back to your desk or it's time to go to the carpet. Like, that is still there. But if you need to ask me, like, how to get to Canadian Tire in French.
Yeah, you're like,
nope. Ask Google. But yeah, no, it's interesting. And I don't know what next year is going to hold. So I might have to brush up.
What you're going to learn next year.
I have to brush up on those French skills yet again.
That's too funny. Oh gosh, because it was French immersion, like they weren't allowed to speak English, not in a punishment way.
No, not in a punishment way. They got reinforced for speaking predominantly French,
right?
Which is really interesting because they were grade 1 at the time, so you could tell they were reusing the word that they knew. So like in the mornings they would come together and like, what was great about your day, or what did you do over the weekend, and the word super came up a lot.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, oh, I need to speak French, but I would like to show that I'm really excited about this, and the only word I really know for that is super. And so like it was so cute.
Because they got points per word or whatever.
Sometimes.
So they throw in like 5 supers.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. They found the loophole.
And I'm getting better for like my verbal understanding and answer. So my verbal understanding is there.
Right.
But my answering back in French, still not there.
Yeah. Because when we first got married, my husband's French Canadian, so he would speak French to me to help me learn. And I understood what he was saying, but I didn't know how to respond back in French, right? So I'm better at hearing it than speaking it. So
well, and that's it. And like I was really lucky that when I was in French immersion for 6 months, it was a younger grade.
Okay.
So it literally like I understood the concepts. I understood what she was trying to teach.
Right.
Just the language barrier. I was like, I get what you're getting at. How do I say this in French?
Yeah. So were you like when you were with your children in the French class, were you speaking French to them?
Trying to.
Oh, okay.
Trying to. So like, but I mean, at the same time, when it came to that particular child, it wasn't necessarily the French that was. So like, yes, he was in French immersion, but because there was a behavioral issue, that kind of trumped the language.
Right.
So as long as he got the work done,
it
didn't matter how I got him to get there.
Right. You could speak Swedish to him.
Yeah, I could speak Swedish, and as long as he got his work done, it didn't matter. But like the other kids would be like, "Is this?" And I'd be like, I don't know. But near the end of the year, I was like, yes, this is this. And like it started to become a lot easier. And I think I really just need to take a like continuing education French, because with the grade 8s this past year, because that's where I was, they had French, and like their ability to learn really early in the morning, because French was always the first thing.
Oh geez, they're not even awake yet.
Right? And so he would like do some sort of lesson in the morning. I'm like, hey, I remember this. And I'd be like conjugating in my head, and I'm like, oh, I am right. Okay, cool.
It's amazing what your brain retains,
yes.
right?
Yes, I actually remember some of my first aid training that stuck.
Oh, okay.
Because we were learning how to read out of a book, because computers were scarce.
Okay.
Back when I was in school.
Books can be your friend.
Books can be your friend. We were doing a first aid unit, so it was like a read to understand, and then we had to present what we read. So, and it just happened to be on first aid, and to this day, I'm like, I don't know what it was. Something about like when you get a burn, you don't actually put it in hot or cold water. It's actually like warm water.
Oh, okay.
That I remember from French class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You learned something new. Put it in warm water.
Yeah.
Because you think
cold, obviously. Like,
and grandma's thought butter.
No,
don't put butter on.
Or mayonnaise. That was another one. I was like, ew, why did you ever...
anything like that. Peanut butter.
Nope.
Mayonnaise.
Nope.
Because it makes it burn more.
Yeah. It'll trap the heat.
Yeah.
We don't want to trap the heat. We want the heat to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it out. Release it.
Or don't treat it, because like don't do what I do here. I used to work at Tim Hortons, and stuff happens.
Yeah,
and
you're dealing with hot coffee.
But it was one of the donut trays had come out of the oven. Or no, it was the bread tray.
Oh,
and
okay.
they had left it, and I had bumped the counter, and in trying to make sure it didn't fall, didn't know it was hot, I bumped it to try to keep it on the thing.
Yeah.
And I still, like, not so much anymore, but like I still have, you could tell there's two little lines.
Wow.
Yeah. So you gotta, and then it was funny. They're like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Oh yeah," and just lukewarm water, paper towel, keep going.
Right.
Not that I should have. I probably should have had better first aid than that.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was when I was working at A&W.
Yeah.
It was a very busy Saturday in the mall, and so you're just like going,
Yep.
and I was just coming off a break, and I think the girl was Monica that was at the fry station, and there was another girl at the fry station. And they're pulling baskets because we did onion rings and fries, right?
Yeah.
The one girl pulls the basket, not even thinking, and she puts it on Monica's back. Yeah. The scream was unreal, and it like melted the shirt, and she has like crisscross.
Yep.
Fry scars now.
Yep.
She immediately had to go to the hospital.
100%. You don't screw with oil burns like that.
Yeah, like it just it was and. because I was coming back, we were in the back having the break, so I was coming through the kitchen and I saw it as it happened.
And you're like, I wish I could, but it's one of those, like, you see it in...
Yeah, and you're thinking she's gonna hold the fry basket, right? Like, she's not gonna, like, because Monica was clearly in her way.
Yeah.
And it just landed, and she was just so upset because she
you
wasn't
weren't thinking. And I mean, I understand, because it's like, I'm allowed to judge. I spent 10 years in fast food.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not saying this from somebody who's never worked fast food.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there are days where I'm like, how are you guys not working faster?
Yeah.
But then there are other days where I'm like, I'm glad you're not working faster. Therefore, people aren't going to get burned with hot coffee.
Right.
So it's like, maybe the standards have changed since I was there. Because when I was there, it was like, go, 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 go. Times are important.
Run with the pot of hot coffee.
Yeah, like, literally almost.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm glad things have changed. But at the same time, because I was so used to that high standard of like, go, 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 I'm like, how do you guys do it?
Right.
What is this glacial pace of like, I'm gonna walk 5 steps.
Yeah.
And maybe turn to get the right pot.
Right. And like, I mean, people have to be patient. Like, it's called fast food, yes.
But they do have to be patient, and I think...
But it's not ready to go right when you show up.
No, it's not. And especially, like, I always order ahead if I can.
Right.
And it's even to, like, especially now that I don't have anywhere to be, which is nice, I watched somebody walk out with 2 bags of, like, snacks out of a fast food joint this morning, and I was like, anyone that put an order in after them must have really been like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's funny, yeah. Because, I mean, COVID did bring us a lot of niceties.
Yes.
Because you can drive up into the McDonald's parking lot, put your order in, just sit in your car and relax, and they'll bring it right out to you. You can go through the drive-through. That was before COVID. But the driving into the parking spot and just waiting.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised
COVID.
they've kept a lot of those.
They have, because people love it, right? And you know, like, they've now got grocery delivery, because a lot of people used to bitch that they don't deliver milk the same way that they used to, right?
Yes, I remember that, because my grandmother's house
has a milk door. Yeah, a lot of older homes have that.
We used to keep our mitts and stuff in there.
Oh, okay,
and then, like, there were days where I'd be like, she would, you know, hide presents in there if it was around Christmas time, because we'd go on a scavenger hunt for some of our gifts. So I'd always, like, randomly check the milk thing just in case.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, what's in here today?
Plus, it's a neat little cupboard.
It is a neat little cupboard.
It feels magical in some weird way.
It does. But also because I didn't grow up in the time that it was regularly used, right?
Right. Because outside of our apartments, you'll notice squares next to each of the apartments, because this building's been around for a while.
Okay.
They used to be milk doors.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, why can't they bring those back?
Yeah.
Because, like, if it's just a cupboard sitting there, because they've sealed them and they now paint over them, but they're still there.
Yeah.
So it's like, why can't you do that?
Well, I think it's in it. Well, I mean, with the preservation of products now, we could probably do that then.
Yeah.
We'd actually have a better chance at not spoiling things.
Yes, yeah.
Because of all the preservatives and stuff we put in things now.
The shelf life is 10 years.
Especially if it does not have lactate.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, the best before date is not an expiration date.
No, it's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. You can still probably eat
it. Depends on what it is.
Yes.
Milk, I wouldn't necessarily trust.
No. I wouldn't. The date is the date and strong on milk. It's like,
milk, any dairy product.
Yeah.
Milk. Cheese is a bit of a different one, because you could literally, like,
cut
just carve out and be fine.
Yeah. Because that's what they do initially. They're cutting the mold off and then packaging it.
Yeah. Depending on the type of cheese you like.
Yes, exactly. Because my mom went through a phase, as my mom did through a lot of phases, but she went through a cheese making phase.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I learned how cheese was made. And she was like, yeah, the mold's good. We want the mold, because it means the cheese is being made. I'm like, okay.
So your brain is like, no, we don't.
Yeah. Because, like, I guess once you cut it off, it develops a rind or something. So, yeah. It's, you know, penicillin. So if you got a cold, eat moldy cheese. No, don't do that.
So say, please don't take us for medical
advice.
advice.
We're not doctors. But yeah, milk, cream, yogurt is another one that sour cream.
Sour cream, definitely.
Yeah, it's like nope.
Even milk, you gotta watch, because I've, like, growing up, my stepdad drank milk like it was water.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, he always looks dazed. I was like, oh, that's fine. And then, like, there was one time it hit the back of his throat, and he was like, yep, no.
Oh, God, I hate... That's happened a few times in my life. And, yeah, I went off milk each time for a little while, because it's like, ah.
You can't untaste that.
Yes, right? That experience is still, and you're terrified. Like, that's the thing. Once it hits its best before date, I'm like, I don't want to drink chunky milk. Nope. Even pouring it out, if it's chunky, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if they have a milk taro.
Probably.
They have a food taro, I know that, but
yeah. I wonder if they have like a wine taro.
A wine taro. There you go. What's the weirdest tarot deck you've ever seen? Because they've got zombie tarots.
Yes, they have zombie tarots. They have like a vampire tarot.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's like a Disney villains tarot.
Yeah.
Supernatural tarot. So like, if you have a fandom of something, it probably has a tarot deck.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's weird. There's thousands of tarot decks out there, right? And they do follow the RWS for the most part. And like,
so I wonder how that's going to get impacted with U.S. games.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you want to spend your day doing cease and desist letters,
yeah, that's going to get interesting.
Like, good luck with that, because that's thousands you'd have to send out if they're too close. I mean, you could still base it off RWS, but it has to be different. So it's like, okay.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, should be.
Maybe we'll have to, like, is that too close? That's not close enough.
Yeah. And there's certain elements that are always needing to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for instance, with the strength, there's always a lion. You can't take the lion away. You're not going to put a penguin in place of it.
Speaking of penguin, this is my favorite card.
Oh, look at that.
10 of cups is a penguin family.
Oh, penguins are hilarious. Right? Did you see that documentary that, what's his name? I want to say Denzel, but it's not him. Shoot, I don't have his name with me.
Okay, the documentary, what about it?
It was really good because, of course, he narrated Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, yes.
And there's a guy that, he's a sports guy, I think. So I was watching videos. I don't normally watch sports highlights or anything, but
sure.
But it happened to come up in my feed or something, and he's a white guy.
Yep.
And he does a bang on imitation of Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, it's weird because, that's what it was. Mark found the video. Okay. And he said at first, just listen to it. Don't look at it. So I did. And I'm like, yeah, that's Morgan Freeman. And then he made me watch it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my God. Like, you would not be able to tell the difference. He does such a great job. And he reads like the most ridiculous things in Morgan Freeman's voice, right?
That's hilarious.
Because Morgan Freeman, of course, he's got a beautiful voice.
He does have a very beautiful voice.
He's played the voice of God. He did the voicing over for the Penguins.
Oh, did he? I thought that was, it's usually David Attenborough.
Yeah, often it is, but there was one that Morgan Freeman did too. I mean, there's a lot of documentaries out there, right?
Which, I was looking for a card. Oh, it was the strength card. Okay, thank you. I was like, but I didn't even look at the strength card, I don't think.
And, yeah, you have to, like, everybody thinks they're a star these days, right? Everyone's got a podcast. And us. And
so there's not it's a
oh, it's a bull.
There we go. Bull.
Oh, interesting.
Pulling a cart.
Because the bull is in tarot, the original tarot. He's on the world card because he's one of the directions, right?
Yep.
There's bull, phoenix, angel, and lion.
Yes. You're correct. It's interesting. Yeah. Alrighty. I think that is it for today.
Yeah. We're getting pretty quiet. It's like just sitting here, enjoying our tea.
But no, it was a good little chat, and we will figure out what we're talking about next time.
Yeah. So please join us. We try to be entertaining.
Yes. We try to also be on time. So Monday?
Yes, Monday.
Okay.
Can you do it during the day? Here, I'll turn this off. Bye. Thank you for being here. Take care.